For this entire tournament, we were told, no, we were warned that this French team was untouchable. The Avengers of the 2026 World Cup. And why wouldn't you believe it? Kylian Mbappé sitting on 8 goals in 6 matches, actively chasing down Lionel Messi's all-time World Cup record. Mikel Olise running the entire assist charts with 5. Ousmane Dembélé lighting up the other flank with 5 goals of his own. An attacking cheat code that felt genuinely illegal. Stop one of them. The next one rises to punish you. That was the story all summer, and nobody had given us a reason to doubt it. Then they walked into Dallas Stadium for the semi-final and got put in timeout by a team half the world had spent the tournament calling boring. France 0. Spain 2. I need you to actually sit with that scoreline for a second, because this wasn't a close call. It wasn't a fluke deflection. It wasn't an unlucky bounce. This was the most feared attack at the entire World Cup, torn apart, systematically and ruthlessly in front of the whole planet. No excuses, no what-ifs. Just a historic collapse that has an entire nation asking how a team with this much individual talent could look so empty when it actually mattered. So let's talk about the machine that did it, because Luis de la Fuente did not bring this team to Texas to entertain anybody. He came to build a steel cage. Remember, critics and purists spent the early rounds of this tournament tearing Spain apart. Where's the identity from the Euros? Where are the passing triangles? Why does this team look so cautious all of a sudden? De La Fuente made the smartest call of the entire summer. He traded the aesthetics for raw, defensive structure. He did not care if you found Spain boring. He cared about being effective. And the results speak for themselves. Here's the number that should terrify whoever plays Spain next. The single, scariest attacking line on the planet. Mbappe, Dembélé, Olise managed just 0.3 expected goals across the entire 90 minutes. Let that sink in. That is the lowest expected goals conceded in a World Cup semi-final since 1994. This was not a defensive win. This was structural suffocation. Hold that thought, because you're about to see exactly how it got built. 22 minutes in, and this is the moment the whole game turns. Marc Cucurella floats a deep, speculative ball into the box. Lucas Digne is tracking it, completely unpressured, and does the cardinal sin of defending. He swings his leg blindly to clear it without ever checking his shoulder. And Lamine Yamal, a full-grown man now, one single day removed from turning 19, plays him like a cheap acoustic guitar. Yamal has zero interest in actually winning the ball. He sees the blind swing coming from a mile away, knows exactly what's about to happen, and simply plants his body directly in the path of the clearance to invite the contact. That's cynical, veteran street smarts, and you do not get that from a teenager. Penalty. Mikel Oyarzabal, a man who treats penalties like a simple administrative task, steps up against Mike Maignan, a goalkeeper who spent this entire tournament being called a penalty-saving specialist, and ruthlessly buries it. 1-0, Spain. The moment that ball hits the net, you can almost see the French souls leave their bodies. What follows over the next 25 minutes is a full-blown comedy of errors. It's only 1-0, but France starts playing with the chaotic, hyperventilating desperation of a team down 4 goals with 2 minutes on the clock. Every pass rushed, every touch heavy. A huge part of that is pure arrogance. This team walked onto the pitch believing their brand names alone would carry them, that Spain would sit back and hand them the ball, and France would simply counter their way to goals. It does not work like that against a team coached by De La Fuente. Mikel Olise vanishes from the match completely. Rodri straight up pocketed him. Every single time Olise tries to turn in the half spaces, Rodri's already there before the ball even arrives. Not marking him, owning him. And when Rodri isn't the one closing him down, Fabián Ruiz is, tag-teaming Olise like they'd been handed a scouting report nobody else had access to. 90 minutes, and Europe's assist king basically doesn't exist. No room to breathe, let alone thread one of his signature passes. And then there's the captain. Kylian Mbappé does not arrive as the global icon we all expected. He arrives passive, disinterested, drifting. 14 touches in the entire first half. 14. Post that stat line for Erling Haaland, or for a 41-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo, and the internet does not let it go for a week. Mbappe's demeanor stayed nonchalant right up until it was too late, and his team paid the price for it. Right around this same stretch, France's night gets worse. William Saliba, arguably the best center back on the planet, goes down with what looks like a non-contact back injury and has to be replaced by Maxence Lacroix. No collision, no tackle. His body just gives out on him, right as his own team is already losing the plot in midfield. If you're a France fan looking for a single image that sums up this half, that's it. If the first half was a warning shot, the 58th minute is the full indictment. Spain builds a fluid sequence down the right. Dani Olmo receives the ball in the pocket, drags in 3 French defenders at once, and draws the foul. But before he even hits the ground, he slides a blind reverse pass into the space behind him for Pedro Porro. Now watch Lacroix, the man who had just come on for the injured Saliba. Instead of tracking the run, he stops. He assumes the whistle is about to blow for the foul on Olmo, so he switches off completely and looks over at the referee instead of covering the overlap. Porro never stops. He keeps his head down, runs straight into the space Lacroix vacated, takes one touch, and buries it past Maignan. 2-0. Game and semifinal. Over. That single sequence tells you everything you need to know about the gap between these two teams tonight. Spain played to the whistle with maximum intensity on every phase. France stood around looking for an excuse to stop. France tried to throw the bench at the problem. On came Desire Du. On came Rayan Cherki. Spain's backline did not blink once. Real credit here to Marc Cucurella, who picked up a yellow card all the way back in the 31st minute, and then spent the next hour walking a tightrope against some of the fastest wingers alive without ever cracking. That's the kind of performance that should be taught in academies. Look at the very last meaningful sequence of the match, deep into stoppage time. Mbappe drives inside for one last shot at salvaging some shred of dignity for France. Cucurella doesn't panic. He waits, times it to the millisecond, and forces the ball clean off Mbappe's boot with a perfectly timed sliding tackle. No foul, no corner, just lockdown defending to slam the book shut for good. With this win, Spain didn't just book their ticket to the final. They wrote themselves straight into the history books. A tournament record 6 clean sheets, an unbeaten run now stretching to 37 games, officially matching Italy's all-time international record. And on the touchline, Luis de la Fuente outcoached, outthought, and outright humiliated Didier Deschamps in every single phase of this football match. So now the entire football world turns its attention to Sunday in East Rutherford, where Spain finds out exactly who is waiting for them in the final. Is it a heavyweight rematch of the Euro 2024 final against England? Or is it the matchup the whole planet has been quietly praying for since the group stage? Lamine Yamal against Lionel Messi on the single biggest stage the sport has to offer? Whatever happens on Sunday, one thing is now undeniable. This Spain team stopped being the boring side everyone loved to criticize the moment they walked off that pitch in Dallas. They are now officially the team every single remaining contender has to fear. So tell me, was this the single greatest defensive performance of the entire tournament? Or was this the biggest collapse we have seen from a true favorite in years? Drop your take down in the comments, because whatever happens this weekend, the World Cup final is shaping up to be one for the history books either way.